Hello, hello, and good day to you. So glad that you are joining in with us on today for our monthly health lesson. So, as you are coming in, I am going to ask you to go ahead and share. Tag a friend, tag a family member, tag a loved one, share this learning opportunity with your circle. All right? So, good day, good day, good day to you. As you can see from the graphic, we are so glad. We're so glad that you are here with us. This is an opportunity that is brought to us from the American Heart Association in partnership with Amgen Cardiology. So, listen, the peeps at the tab, we are excited to be able to participate yet again. And I personally am so grateful for the information that is being shared and the awareness it is bringing to our church family. So, as I've already said, this lesson is open to any and everyone, and we want you to partner with us in helping spread the word. This is important information about our health. So go ahead, share it with, can you give me at least two people that you can think of? Just simply, if you're viewing on the Facebook platform, just tag them, share it with them. If you are viewing on the YouTube portion, share the link. Two people, all right? Great. So today, we are in a topic that I love. So we will get your thoughts and feedback as well. But as you know, and for those that are joining us for the first time, there are two things that I am going to ask from you every session. And that is your participation in our pre and post surveys. We are, number one, trying to spread awareness, and we're trying to get data just to be able to study and evaluate a change. So, two things I'm going to ask: a pre-survey. So before I share the information that is contained in our lesson, I'm going to ask you to take a 1 minute, it'll actually be 1 minute or less, survey before I present any of the health information. And then at the end, I will present a post survey so that you can answer similar questions after having been exposed to some information that you may or may not have been aware of. Okay, so with that being said, let us go ahead and get that information up for your survey. All right. And here we go. This is your pre-survey. So what you can do is you can take your phone, screenshot, or open your camera app and scan the QR code. It'll take you to the pre-survey, or you can click the link. We'll have that added in the comments. So either scan the QR code or hit that pre-survey link. I will give you a brief opportunity to get that completed. Again, pre and post. So I'll drop the other one at the end. All right. So while you are doing that, let's get to a brief overview. All right. So while you are taking your pre-survey, what we are going to be discussing on today is eating smart with fruits and veggies. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. We're talking about fruits and veggies. We had in our tab health and wellness groups in our Facebook group and our band app group, we spent this week in an activity entitled Observe and Report, just to get an idea of the types of foods and food groups we were eating from on a daily basis. And some of you, and I thank you for your feedback, some of you shared those things that you discovered, what you eat a lot of, when you're eating it, when you're not eating it. What I want you to now use that information for is to examine, am I getting enough fruits and veggies? Something to consider. All right, got those surveys out of the way? All right, so a brief overview of what we are going to accomplish in a short span amount of time. I am not desiring to keep you for an extended period, and a lot of our groundwork is going to be covered within the groups. So if you're not a part of the TAB Health and Wellness group, which is open to anyone, it is an open health community. Feel free to join. I'll make sure that that information is provided on our platforms. But as you've already been welcomed to the show, we're going to get into what we're going to talk about. So we're going to talk about these fruits and veggies, and we're going to give you some tools and tips. So we're going to talk about adding color, crunch, and flavor. We're going to talk about some ways that you yourself in your everyday life, you can incorporate more fruits and veggies into your daily meals. And then we are going to take action. Access is a big issue, if not for us personally, for those around us. So we will spend some time thinking about what we can do. All right. So let's get into it. So I want to hopefully on today go over three points, and then I'll let you go and we'll do some work in our groups. So point number one, as I mentioned in the welcome and the overview, point one, add color, add crunch, and add flavor with produce. All right, I'm going to back out just a moment so you can see this slide in its entirety. If you look at that entire view on the table, it is very, very colorful. I'm not talking about the beautiful people of color that are on the screen, but if you look at the items that are on the table, if you look at those serving plates, bowls, and dishes, you see the variety of color. So, produce is not boring. Fruits and veggies are not boring. You are not limited. It's all about intentionally making a change. Well, let's get into our information. So, eating 2 to 2.5 cups, which is about 4 to 5 servings. All right, so 2 to 2.5 cups each of fruits and vegetables every day as part of our overall heart healthy diet can reduce, isn't that a draw? Isn't that a great thing? Just doing something like adding fruits and veggies to my diet can reduce my risk for cardiovascular disease, including heart attack and stroke. We have been building on these principles. We understand our risk factors for the cardiovascular disease, the heart attacks, the strokes. We simply have to make some lifestyle choices. Well, what are some more benefits? Because, we're all in for the good stuff that we can get, right? All right, so more health benefits. Let's look at this screen. Adding more fruits and vegetables to a healthy diet is a powerful step toward healthier, longer lives. It can help us to manage our weight, control our blood pressure, reduce the risk of some cancers, such as colon cancer. It can reduce the risk of chronic health problems such as diabetes, and fruits and veggies also supports healthy digestion. So won't go any more into that, but just think of yourself and what category or categories you might fall in. Do you have trouble with your digestion? Do you feel a certain way after you've eaten a meal? Do you have problems with your regularity? Then I would consider that you take a look at what you're consuming. Are you getting enough fruits and veggies in? Well, fruits and vegetables, all right, fruits and vegetables are automatically naturally low in saturated fat and calories. So that can play into, all right, managing our weight. If I decide I'm gonna, you know what, instead of them three double quarter pounders that I'm getting in on the regular, let me amp up the amount of fruits and veggies I'm taking in, along with getting in my movement and drinking my water. That can cause us to see change in maintaining our weight. Now, the thing that we probably forget about fruits and veggies, especially when it comes to supporting digestion or being able to reduce issues with diabetes if you are a sufferer of it. These fruits and these vegetables contains vitamins. So vitamins A, C, and K. It contains folate, magnesium, potassium, and they're a great source of fiber, of dietary fiber. So if you struggle with digestion, if you struggle with irregularity, fruits and veggies can be a godsend. Something that is relatively easy to get. It's just a matter of choice and change. All right, choice and change. Well, what is our community need? What is the need, period? Most of us don't eat enough fruits and vegetables to meet our body's needs. About 75% of the population has an eating pattern that is low in fruits and vegetables. All right, so God bless America and us Americans. We are probably high in everything else. We are high in consuming those refined sugars. We are high in eating those bleached and processed foods, flours, anything highly and overly processed. We are more than likely in the range of consuming high amounts of those. But 75% of us, we're trending that our eating pattern is low in fruits and vegetables. Then it goes on to say that only 1 in 10 adults meets the recommendations for the fruit and veggies consumption. And then the last item I thought was, really wasn't surprising, but it was interesting to see it in printed form, that men and younger adults, so our men and our younger people, are eating the fewest amounts of fruits and veggies. Now, me myself personally, I have been at a place of mindfully monitoring what I eat and trying to be very intentional about my food choices. But I have discovered that even though I love fruits and veggies, but as I examine, as I critique my consumption as a whole. I am very veggie heavy, but I can up my game. I can make some improvements where the fruits are concerned. How about you? Go ahead and put in the comments where you fall. Are you in that 75% of the population that, your eating pattern is kind of low where the fruits and veggies are concerned? Or do you favor one over the other? Are you really getting it in with the fruit, but you kicking rocks at the veggies? Or are you falling in the category of, being that male or being that young adult that eats the fewest amounts of fruits and veggies? Let me know. Go ahead and place those in the comments so that this is something that we can explore as we kind of stay in this area of fruits and veggies for the month. All right, so let me know in those comments. So what is a single serving of fruit? What is a single serving of fruit? So the following gives you graphics about what is considered. So when we look at this, I would like for you to consider, just think back in your mind, how many fruits, how many vegetables are you getting in? And don't worry, because we're going to talk about it. We're going to get some tips in on how we can up our fruit and veggie intake. All right. So even just looking at this, I'm curious to know. So feel free to kind of put it in your discussion boxes in the comments. When's the last time that you had any of these listed on the screen? An apple. And let me stop sharing the screen because this needs to be said. All right, I need the full screen on this one. Who can tell me the last time they have had fruit in its natural or closest to natural unaltered state? So what do I mean by that? Well, we've got an apple on there. When's the last time you had an apple? Meaning, when's the last time you bit into one? When's the last time you sliced an apple and ate it? I'm not talking about the last time you had a Dutch apple pie. I'm not talking about the last time you had those stewed apples and had that warm, delicious apple concoction with a side of French vanilla ice cream. But when's the last time you had an apple? All right. So apple is mentioned. A banana. When's the last time you had the banana but no pudding? All right. So that's kind of where I'm at. All right. Strawberries. Now, given the season that we're in, that might be something that's relatively easy for us to get in. We'll talk about that. And then avocados. Who's an avocado fan? When's the last time? All right. So something to consider. Let's get back and now that we've looked at those serving sizes for fruits, let's get some ideas about what the veggie side is going to look like. All right, so our servings of fruit, our servings of veggies. All right, so for the veggie side, examples of a single serving: 5 to 8 broccoli florets, half of a large sweet potato, about 6 baby carrots. Baby carrots are a go-to for me for snack time. And a cup of raw spinach. So any one of those would constitute one single serving. Okay? One single serving. So how many fruits are you getting in a day? How many veggies are you getting in a day? The daily the recommended daily amount of veggies is 4 to 5 servings a day. So if you are eating 3 meals a day, are you getting your recommended daily amount in? Well, it might be difficult for us to get in. It might be hard considering the way that we work, our lifestyle, and accessibility, availability. Well, let's look at some tricks to kind of help us understand how we can get that in. Fresh, frozen, canned, and dried all count. So even though I asked the question about the fruit, when's the last time you had it in its unaltered form? All right, they all count. Period. All right, so you get it fresh, that's your biting into it. You get it frozen, it lives in the freezer. You take it out, you put it in the blender. Okay, that counts. It's canned, that counts. It's dried, that counts. How else can we get it in? Well, make half of your plate fruits and veggies. And I'll post it at a later time. I didn't grab it so that I could share it with you during the lesson. But I have something that is called a portion plate. So it is sectioned out and it lets me know what portion I should eat or should be eating for protein, what portion I should be eating for fruit, and what portion I should be eating for veggies, just to kind of help me get it all together. So these are nice tools, nice allowances. So make half of your plate fruits and veggies, half of your plate fruits and veggies, and that will help you make sure that you're getting those daily amounts in. Choose whole fruits whenever possible, whenever you can. Choose whole fruits and choose whole vegetables whenever you can. Make it a variety. If all you survived off of coming up was green beans and iceberg lettuce for your salad, try some other vegetables. There are other things out there. Yes, there were some things that I was convinced they didn't make this vegetable. They didn't have this fruit when I was a kid, because if it wasn't an apple, a banana or an orange, maybe a pear and a peach on a good day, then we didn't have any more fruits than that coming up. Veggies, okay, you got green beans, you got sweet peas, that's your greens unless you're eating greens. Well, there's a whole world of fruits and veggies waiting for us to tap into it. Another trick of the trade. Look for fruit when we're talking about canned. If you say, all right, I can't afford this, this produce that's in the store because, gas prices, it's $1 million per gallon. I can't buy this fresh fruit, so let me go look at the canned fruit section. Nothing wrong with that. But a pro tip is to look for the cans where the fruit is packed in its own juice. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Let me give you Exhibit A and Exhibit B of what you're wanting to choose and what you don't want to choose. All right, so let's get it to adjust. All right, so can of peaches. All right, let me trying to see how we adjust. There we go. All right, so a can of peaches. But do you see that there? What is it packaged in? We've talked about that. And because we know to read, or we understand how to read those labels, there's a whole other something for another lesson going on. But we understand that this is packed in heavy syrup. Well, when we're growing our fruits, they are not grown in heavy syrup. All right, so that's something that is added. This canned fruit, on the other hand, pineapple slices that are packaged in 100% pineapple juice. So that is the difference. When you're looking at your fruit and you're trying to make better choices, you want to stay away from the ones that are packaged in syrup. I don't care if it says heavy syrup or light syrup. If you are trying to get your veggies in, excuse me, if you're trying to get your fruits in, go with ones that are packaged in its own juice. All right, can the church say amen on that one? You should be breathing easy on this one. It is not as difficult as the sodium lesson. All right, so let's go ahead and let's move on. Let's keep moving and get to point number 2. All right, point number 2 of how we're going to eat smarter with our fruits and our veggies. Let's get this next slide up. All right, point number 2. Point number 2. I need you this month to embrace ways to include a variety of fruits and veggies in your daily meals, and daily snacks. I've had the wonderful opportunity to speak with many of you, and I know that some are not eating meals as they should, forgetting to eat, skipping meals, and many of us are not getting nutritious snacks in to fuel our body throughout the day. So I want you to embrace ways to get your fruits and veggies in. All right, so let's take a look at some of these recommended tips. If you look at the lady that's popping up below me in the graphic, you see that she has her blender there. She has placed some leafy greens and she is slicing an apple. All right, so it looks as though she's about to make a smoothie. Well, what can we do? What is a pro tip to help us get these fruits and veggies in? Well, it says dip them, sip them, freeze them. I would like to take a vote. I'm just curious to see who would be team dip, who is team sip, and who is team freeze. Well, what do we mean? Well, in that first bullet point, it talks about chopping your veggies up to where you've got bite-sized pieces. They fit into a little plastic container, fits in a baggie. You can pop it in your bag and go. You can pop it in your purse and go. You can have those baby carrots we talked about. You can have those raw broccoli florets if that's your thing. If you're a cauliflower person, you can chop those things up into bite-sized pieces. You can dip them in hummus, or if you so choose, a low-fat dressing. You know, some people have a love affair with ranch, so maybe some low-fat ranch dressing. Dip your veggies in that. All right, so if you're team dip, that might be it for you. If you're team sip, then it might come that you're drinking them because you're making all types of smoothies. There are no rules when it comes to smoothies. You put in what you like. You play around with color. You say, oh, I think this would taste good. Oh, this looks pretty. Let's try it out. There is no right. There is no wrong. Team freeze, which I think I fall in between drink and freeze because I utilize a lot of frozen fruits and I make smoothies. So I'm drinking, but I'm also getting the advantage of frozen fruits as well. So they suggest, all right, why don't you make your own frozen fruit juice popsicles? All right, so back in the day, that was something that we used to do. We weren't doing fruit juice. We were doing it with Kool-Aid. So we were putting Kool-Aid in the ice tray, put a toothpick or whatever in there, and you've got a mini popsicle. Well, they're recommending, why don't you try that with some fruit juices? And now we don't have to rely on the ice trays. If even people still have those in their freezers right now, you've got all type of contraptions that you can get from Walmart, from Amazon. You can make your own freezy pops. You can make your own ices. You don't have to buy the prepackaged. If you're team freeze, let me know what you might be trying. So not only freezing the fruit juice, but freezing fruit itself. They recommend slicing up banana slices, freezing them, and you have a bite-sized snack. They talk about frozen grapes, which I have heard are amazing, but the way my relationship with grapes is set up, it's they're gonna have to be they're gonna have to be the regular kind of grapes. I can see those that put them in the fridge, get them, kind of cool and eat them that way, but frozen, I don't think that's the life for me. But let me know, are you team dip, sip, or freeze? How might you get more fruits and veggies into your daily meals and snacks? Well, let's move on because my time is getting away, and I want us to look at an exercise. Now, this graphic is giving us easy ways to add fruits and vegetables to each meal. But I want to give you an assignment. So let's look at breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can pick one, but I want to throw out to you a food item or meal that we might have with each. And I would like for you to tell me how you can add, or how you yourself would add fruits and or veggies to make sure that you're spicing it up. You're adding those fruits and vegetables to the things that you already eat. All right. So get ready to put something in the comments. So for breakfast, let's pretend that on the breakfast menu, we have eggs and potatoes. Eggs and potatoes. What can you do? What can you add to bring fruits or veggies to this breakfast meal? All right. So whoever is for team breakfast, I want you to think of some ideas. Put it in the chat. Put a capital letter B before you start typing your results, so I know that you're responding to the breakfast meal. All right, let's look at lunch. Let's pretend that you have a sandwich. That's just you made a sandwich at the house, brought it to job with you, brought it to school with you. You have a Sammy. What can you do? What can you add to your sandwich to make sure that you've incorporated fruits and vegetables into that meal? If you're responding to that particular question, put an L so I know that you're responding to the lunch portion. And then lastly, dinner. Let's pretend for dinner pizza is on the menu. We're having pizza. It's pizza night. Okay? Or if you're not we'll kind of keep it in the Italian family. So maybe it's either pizza night for you or it's pasta night. So it's either pizza or pasta. What are you going to do? What are you yourself going to do? How do you incorporate the fruits into that dinner meal? How do you incorporate the veggies? What are you doing to get fruits and veggies in? If that's your response, put the letter D and then put your suggestions in. Because with a lot of this, all we have to do is take a moment, step back and think about it. If we think about it and make the conscious effort, then we can get it in. We just have to intentionally get it in. Remember, it's a choice and change and choice. Whichever one you want to put, it requires both of them, change and choice, to get it in. So just an example for our what's on the menu activity. If it's breakfast time, you know that eggs and potatoes are the star of your show. That's the main attraction. How am I personally going to get some veggies incorporated into that meal? I'm going to go with some sweet peppers. I'm going to chop up some yellow peppers, some red peppers, because those are the ones I like. I like the colors. I'm going to chop up some peppers. I might add a little purple onion because I like the color. So those are things that I can add and incorporate to bring color into that meal. Spinach. If I'm having eggs, I can mix some spinach with it, or I can put it over a bed of spinach. Same thing if you're eating those potatoes. Can you not add those sauteed peppers, sauteed onions to that? You most certainly can. And as far as a fruit, could I, have a fruit smoothie to go with it? I surely could. I could incorporate some sliced fruit to go with it. As the season is changing, I might decide that I want some sliced cantaloupe. I might decide that I want some sliced honeydew, and I have a well-rounded breakfast meal. For lunch, if I have a sandwich, I can do something such as slice up some cucumbers. I can either add it to the sandwich or slice the cucumbers to serve in place of putting my hands in a bag of chips. I can eat cucumber slices. I might decide to put avocados on my sandwich. I can go out there and maybe utilize some mushrooms. Onions and lettuce and tomatoes are typically what we always hear of. Nothing wrong with utilizing those, but we can try something else. All right, so we get the picture. Great. These are things that you incorporate. These are things that you like and enjoy, and you put together to bring the variety to your meals. Now, another thing that we can do, we have been talking about for at least a year in health and wellness, and that's what we call eating our colors or eating the rainbow. So I want us, and I will make sure that this particular graphic is in the group later, but I want you to start being mindful. A lot of times we will get the white stuff in by default, and when I say that, I'm speaking from a standpoint of our starchy stuff. Yes, potatoes are on the list, but we will some of us in our fitness circle, our health and wellness circle, we've identified that we eat a lot of starches, a lot of pasta, lots of rices. All right, so those are the kind of whites that I want us to kind of pull back from. And when we're talking about colors, yes, okay, so if your potatoes are there, that's fine. Let's just not overindulge. But can we add some cauliflower? Can we look at bananas? Some other things to kind of fill that white category. But I want you to move to some real color. I want you to look at things that are red, things that are orange, things that are green. Remember, I said there are more things out there than sweet peas and green beans. Asparagus, broccoli, kale, which I love. There are other things out there that we can incorporate. Different types of squashes. We automatically think of carrots and peaches. When we get to the reds, beets and raspberries, red apples, red bell peppers, strawberries, tomatoes, and watermelons. Blues, when I look at that, that's something that I don't eat a lot of the blues. So that is an area of opportunity for me to grow in. So I want you to challenge yourself to get more color in your diet, okay? Let's look at this third point, and then I won't tie up much more time from your day. So point 3, what are we going to do? I need us to look at ways that we can take action for better access. Access is still an issue, sad to say, in 2022. Well, what do I mean by that? It says fruits and veggies are vital, they're important, they're required, they're necessary for good health, but not everyone has access to them. Depending on what community you live in, depending on what stage you are in life. Our seniors, our elderly. In a lot of places, people still do not have the same access to produce. It goes on to say that in many urban and rural communities, corner stores, convenience stores, the gas station, bodegas, whatever you have. Those are the only places that they have to buy food. And these stores are, you're not going to get the variety there. All right, so limited options, and the price point is ridiculous. Even if you're going into your major brand retail stores, and we're not going to name any names or anything like that. Let me go ahead and pop it out. We're not going to do anything like that, but even in some of our stores, when I think about the stores that are close to where I work and where I live, and then if I drive a little bit further down the road, I have a different type of store with a different type of produce. There is a difference. These are things that we need to take action, within our community. So this screen, it's similar to the last one that I had up, and I just want to share the statement or the sentiment about another reason why we need better access. There is a study which shows, or perhaps I should say, a trend. Either way, the information suggests or shows that how frequently we eat fruits and veggies often depends on if we can get them locally. All right. I'll say it again. How frequently we eat fruits and veggies often depends on whether we can buy them locally. Now, given thought and taken into consideration with what I said, when I am working on the east side of town, I see a certain type of store. As I'm coming to the side where I live, I see a certain type of store. If I stay on that main road and travel a couple miles further, then I notice the type of store changes. And with that store change, I notice that I get different quality and different types of produce. Given the fact that gas is $1 million per gallon, given the fact that food prices and everything else has increased, we're going to be selective. And the fact that some people live in areas where they have less access to healthy food options and alternatives is an issue. And it's something that we need to be actively making some noise about. So in addition to us working on upping our intake of fruits and vegetables, during the month, I'm going to ask you to, I'm going to call your awareness up. I'm going to call your awareness out, because these are things that we need to change. I want us to intentionally think about our seniors who, you know what, they don't drive, they don't get out, so they get what they get. What are ways in which we can help make sure that all of us are eating smart with our fruits and with our veggies? Well, just a few more, and then I'm going to get us to the place of our post-test. Shouldn't say test, post-survey. Let me go ahead and share the screen and we'll advance a couple slides. All right. So here we go. The American Heart Association, AHA, another reason why I am grateful that we have this partnership is I have seen and I have known them to be an advocate for policies and programs that are breaking down the barrier of accessibility or inaccessibility, not being able to assess our our communities not being able to have access to healthier food options. All right, so I'm grateful that we have an advocate, we have a partner in that. And with all things American Heart Association related, even these health lessons, being a part of the Empowered to Serve program, they always want us to find ways to take action. And this is more information that I will share, as well as how we can take action within the community. And this particular slide, this information gives us 6 ways that we can take action. But I want to get into a real micro view first before we look out. So I want us to start within, and then I want us to move out. Well, what do I mean by that when I'm talking about take action in your community? I want you to first start with our concept of OST. That's something that's been in operation. We've had that mantra down for, it's been a year. We've done it for over a year now. OST means one small thing. What small thing can you change in your community? Well, number one, what's your community? Your family, your household, that's your community. What can you do? Think there first. Before we can go broader, I need you to think first of your own household, your own home, your own circle of influence. You making the change, you being the catalyst, is all it takes to get this in a form in which it can be replicated. Well, I'm saying a lot of words, so what do I mean? I had an experience a couple weeks back to where I was at a gathering. You know, like what most families or even most social gatherings, if it's a group that you know and you're comfortable with, it might be, hey, I'm bringing this. Hey, why don't you bring some drinks, you bring some plates, you bring dessert. Typical, that's usually how we have been doing things. I've been asked to bring dessert before, and old me would typically be like, all right, well, let me swing by the grocery store. Let me, pick up this cake. We're going to have cake. Let me go get a tub of ice cream. What's dessert? Cake and ice cream. Bada bing, bada boom, done. Well, when I began to think about my food choices intentionally, I was able to choose and change and choose. And for this first gathering, I brought fresh fruit, Greek vanilla yogurt, and granola, to where you could make your own little healthy parfait. It was quite delightful. Was a little bit skeptical and nervous, because most of the time when you're asked to bring desserts, it's something sweet, it's something decadent, it's something ooey gooey. But this was something sweet, something satisfying, with natural whole food forms that we would get nutritional benefit from. That was one small thing that had an impact in my community, my circle. Now I have the opportunity to speak on these healthier lifestyle changes that we can make. Now I have the opportunity to speak on, oh yeah, girl, you can do the same thing. Okay, yeah, I know that fruit platter is really expensive, but you know what you do? You get you a can of fruit. You get you, instead of getting the one that's got the heavy syrup, you get the one that has its packaging in its own fruit juices. That's how we make the difference. That's how we make the adjustment. Start in your community and then branch out. Look at the elders in your family. Make sure they're getting their fruits and veggies in. All right, so maybe they're not. Drop off a few cans if you have it to spare. Put something in their freezer if you have it to spare. When you yourself are making that grocery store run, why don't you say, hey, Mom, I'm going to come scoop you up. We're going to go to the store together, because you know she can't make it the extra miles to that other type store in that other location that serves other types of produce that is a better quality than what she can get in her particular neighborhood. All right, so just a thought, just a way in which we might be able to give back. All right, that's another way that we can take action in our community. So with that being said, let me advance our slides. We are down to the place to where we are going to go ahead and get that post survey out of the way. So I need you to take that phone, snap that QR code, or either the link that you see below, and I'll ask somebody, we'll get that shared up in the comments to where you can just kind of click on it. I'll make sure that it's in the description as well, so you can click on it from that source also. All right, so we're going to be doing a lot more of the groundwork in the group setting itself. So as to not delay or not to prolong your presentation time, we'll be spending some work. We'll be doing more things behind the scenes to help us make sure that we are eating smart with our fruits and our vegetables. So if you are not a part of the Facebook group, if you are not a part of the Band App group, we'll make sure that that information is available. If you are one of our members, won't you share the opportunity with someone else? We have this opportunity of presenting a health lesson each month, and we support the principles, the tools, the items, and the resources that we have learned or have been exposed to. We take time within the group putting those things into practice. So with that being said, all for this month, it's going to be about the fruits, the veggies, eating our colors, and tasting the rainbow. So I want to thank you yet again for spending a little bit of time and space with me as we present this information in our partnership with the American Heart Association and Amgen Cardiology. I thank you so much, and I say here's to your health. We truly want to partner with you so that we can make sure that we are all in health and prospering, even as our soul prospers. Have a wonderfully amazing day, and we'll see you in the health and wellness groups. Bye, y'all.